All right, going to talk about Auburn quarterback Payton Thorne and look at some of his best throws from Auburn's win against A&M this weekend or this previous weekend, depending when you're watching this video. But before we look at these throws, we got like 7 or 8 throws that we're going to look at. Let's talk about his performance for 1 to 2 minutes, and then we'll dive into these throws. So Payton Thorne was 19 of 31, 301 yards passing, 2 touchdowns, and 1 interception. I got like 3 main takeaways I want to hit on real quick before we get the videos. Number one, it was the way that he was able to respond. Some of the previous games, he and the team, they just weren't able to respond. His fault, Freeze's fault, whatever it may be. They just weren't able to respond. So they jumped up to 21-0 lead. A&M tied it up. They were able to respond. Even the drive that they didn't score on after A&M tied it up 21-21, Thorne still had a nice play to get them into field goal range that they end up missing. So they were able to respond once A&M punched back, and he was even able to respond after that bad interception. Like in most games in the past, like if you're an Auburn fan, you're watching, you're like, oh, here we go again. And he's played well, then a bad pick, and now we're going to lose the game. So he was able to respond to some adversity after they had some success. Number two, he was much better off play action. Like he had 301 yards passing, and 136 yards came off of play action on only 5 completions. So they didn't have a ton of play action, but the big plays, most of the big plays came off of play action. He was 5 of 8 for a $136, 2 touchdowns off of play action, 17 yards per attempt. And the last key that I think maybe is the biggest factor of why they won the game is his deep ball. So he was 5 of 8 where the ball was thrown 20 yards or more in the air. And I don't have these stats in front of me, but if I would probably guess that's the most completions he's had on those type of throws in an SEC game this year, maybe even in any game this year. So whether A&M wasn't expecting that, whether it was just the receivers making really good plays, which they did, we're going to watch like 2 or 3 clips. The receivers just make super great plays on these throws. It was a combination of things, but regardless, being able to hit those throws, I think, are why you won the game, and those play actions help get the defense out of position. So overall, roller coaster game. But if you're an Auburn fan, you have to be happy with the win. You just take this win. So we're going to watch those clips. And Auburn fans, we haven't done a ton of Auburn quarterback content. We do a lot of SEC quarterback content. There just really hasn't been a lot of quarterback spotlighting for Auburn this year. We have done some. So we do a ton of SEC quarterback content. So Auburn fans, we would love to have y'all subscribe and join the channel. And hopefully next year there's a lot more quarterback or QB spotlighting. But with that said, let's go ahead and dive into these 6 or 7 clips, and then we'll wrap the video up. All right, so we got about 7 clips that we're going to watch as broadcast footage. So I do apologize, Auburn fans. This is a reactionary video. It's the day after the game, so it's all we have to work with right now. But it does a good enough job getting the point across. So here's the first clip we'll watch. It is the deep ball to Coleman down here. I believe it's Coleman, correct? A&M jumps off sides. They take a shot deep. Good example of just taking, they jump off sides. Good example of taking a shot deep, giving your receiver a chance to make a play. Again, he had 5 completions. The ball was thrown 20 yards or more in the air, and this was the first one. Here's a great catch, but I think just a good decision by Thorne just to give your guy a chance. We talked about this, at the beginning of the video. We talked about Auburn's receivers just making some really nice plays on Payton Thorne's throws. Here's a 2nd and 9. This was Thorne's first touchdown pass. So the pass we just saw led to Auburn scoring 7-0. Auburn fans, you all obviously know that. This was a play action. Again, Thorne was 5 of 8 off of play action for 136 yards passing. Both his touchdowns are off play action as well. Two of his touchdowns were, So we got play action, deep ball to Coleman for a touchdown. Probably the best throw of the game, at least like the most pure and prettiest throw. You got play action here. Again, it's broadcast footage, so we can't see everything, but you see he initially looks this way and then is able to throw a deep ball down the middle of the field. Let me move this here. Yeah, great job by Coleman there. That's Coleman. Right, guys? Right, Auburn fans? We do so much SEC quarterback content, and I think that's Coleman. We usually have the games on mute. So, great job by Payton Thorne there. Again, play action, deep balls, something that probably took A&M by surprise. So now it's 14-0 here. Beginning of the second quarter. Let me move myself. Got another touchdown coming up. Play action. This may be an RPO here. Let's see if the linemen go downfield. I believe they do. Yes, the linemen do go downfield. So he has the option to give right here. He does not. He keeps it. He sees what he likes. You have looking in, and then the receiver able to get wide open here, right? So really good job by Thorne and by Freeze, especially early in the game, like drawing this stuff up, getting Thorne comfortable, getting the defense out of position. Is that Coleman again? But really good job by Freeze here by drawing this up. You have the option to give it. You can tell there's also an option. There's an option to run because the linemen are, 3-ish yards downfield. That's kind of that grace period. But look, it gets eyes in here, eyes in here. Thorne's looking directly there. He sees those DBs looking at him, sets up for a nice, easy throw. 4 touchdowns there for Payton Thorne. Again, play action. We talked about how good he was off of play action. So this was the pretty part. This was you jumped off 21-0, but you knew A&M was going to punch back, and they did. And when they did, I thought, okay, for sure A&M is about to win this game. They're going to come back, and this is just like another Auburn game that we're used to watching. So this is where the response comes in. So it's 21-21. This is before Thorne has thrown a pick. It's 21-21. They don't score on this drive. This is a missed field goal, but still a good job by Thorne. He's in the pocket, has time, and the broadcast talked about it yesterday. Whenever Thorne has time, he does well. Freeze talked about we just got to give the quarterback time. So that was a good job by Thorne, hitting your receiver, middle of the field. No play action there. A&M only brings 4. It's a good job by the Aggies, or by Auburn, against A&M dropping 7. You drive down, you miss a field goal. You're like, damn, okay, here we go again. Auburn fans are used to miss field goals. They're able to get a stop, get the ball back, and here's a big play by Payton Thorne, another 20-yard-plus ball in the air, and this was a great catch by the receiver too. See, we got play action. He's looking this way first, and he ends up scrambling this way. We have a delayed blitz. Maybe he was a spy, and he's taught, hey, like after, whatever your cue is, go ahead and bring pressure. Thorne's able to get outside the pocket, make a good throw, and the receiver makes an even better catch, right? But still, kudos to Thorne for just throwing it up there. I know he's open. That's a tough throw on the run, and the receiver makes a hell of a catch. To beat A&M, you had to have these type of catches. And, man, if you're Auburn fans, I know like a lot of people smarter than me have talked about y'all receivers, so you have to be excited about y'all's receivers for next year. Okay, so game-tying touchdown drive. Let me move myself again. I apologize. Game-tying touchdown drive. I think this is a 2nd and 8. There's a little over 2 minutes left. A&M just took the lead. It's 31-28. You have to respond again against a team effort. But the way Auburn responded was such a big takeaway for me last night. I know I'll keep like overemphasizing it, but it's 2nd and 8. We're going to see he's kind of getting out of the screen. I apologize. A&M brings 4. He's able to convert down the middle of the field here. You can kind of see him get open before he gets out. Yeah, he sees him get open, and he sets him down. Good job, good read there by Thorne for a 2nd and 8. These next 2 clips we're about to watch, maybe the 2 most important clips of the game. You have a 3rd and 9 that gets you to like a 4th and 1, 4th and 2. Then Thorne uses his legs, but it's a 3rd and 9. Of course, they're probably hoping to get a first down on this play. Looks like he was going to this wheel route the entire time here. Gets it out here. It gets you 1 to 2 yards short, and then Thorne's able to pick up the yard. But these 2 plays, like back-to-back, just showing on this drive here, showing Thorne's ability to respond, and a nice kind of a clutch plays here. So now we get a 4th and 2. Gosh, I'm just getting myself in the way. I apologize. You get a 4th and 2. He's able to scramble for the first down, then eventually pick up the field goal, the game-tying field goal. Man, talk about, I didn't realize how bad Auburn's field goal kicker was to watching the game last night, but kudos for finding a way to make some pretty big kicks. Auburn fans, y'all's heart had to be racing on this kick, on the field goal in overtime. Like, let me know how y'all were feeling during those times last night watching the game. All right, last clip to watch, the game-winning touchdown on, what was it, 41-41. Excuse me, middle of the field throw. Payton Thorne ends up being a touchdown. So Auburn fans, congrats. I mean, what a roller coaster season, roller coaster past few years. So happy for y'all getting this win. But let me know y'all's thoughts on Payton Thorne. Let me know what y'all thought the difference was. Now, it wasn't a perfect game. I know you had your times you were just super frustrated. That interception was a bad interception. But let me know your thoughts in the comments below about Payton Thorne's performance. Let me know your thoughts about the game in general. And like we said in the beginning of the video, we would love to have more Auburn subscribers. We're just building a big SEC base. We just talk about a lot of quarterback content. So if you like that type of stuff, please consider subscribing to the channel, like the video, share. It helps us grow, and keep following us along. We'll see you next time. Peace.